baby.
I'm
Hang on, baby.
I'm not towards you.
You found some acorns?
I found acorns, but they're in my pocket. I got acorns.
First thing you're gonna do, top your pack, check security around your area. Make sure that you've got enough resources that you can start a fire, and obviously around here you can. We have plenty of pines, fatwood, things like that. So first thing we're gonna do, clear out an area. I'm gonna get my shelter set up, and then I'm going to start gathering resources to make the fire so we can cook and so on and so forth. So hang on, we'll be right back with you. Get off of it, baby. I'm setting it up. Start gathering the stuff to do the firewood. So dead grasses, make a tinder bundle first, then small sticks all the way up to big sticks. That's the process. Alright guys, this right here was attached right here. The reason I broke it off right there is this is a pine tree, and where these are attached to the tree, when a tree gets damaged, it does this right here where it pumps a lot of the resins into it, and pines have a lot of resin, and this is called fatwood. So when you break it off like I just did right here at the crotch of the tree, this smells like straight up turpentine. So what I'll do is I'll take my knife and I'll scrape, and I could throw a spark just to that and it'll ignite. And there's plenty of videos out there of fatwood videos where people do that. But I'm just going to use the wood. I'm going to show you guys how to use charred wood today. You can use charred cloth the same way that I'm going to use the charred wood. I'm going to show you guys that. But I'm not going to use charred cloth today because I don't have any with me, and I personally think charred wood's better because charred cloth is just that, a cloth, and wood is a little bit more dense. It lasts longer as a coal. So anywhere that a branch meets, like this one right here, you can see some of the pine resin that came off, and these trees, they'll lose their lower branches so that the tree can survive easier. It's pointless for a tree with a branch this low to keep pumping nutrients and making leaves and stuff that aren't going to collect water or sunlight for this tree, so the lower branches die. Cedars do the same thing, and then you can pick them up. That was a hawk. That was a big hawk. And these parts right here, anytime you see these, there's a big one further up in the tree right there that you can see. That's where the tree's been damaged, so it pumps resins into it. So if you can ever get those, they're extenders, and they'll make the flame burn a lot longer and a lot hotter because it's nothing but resin. Alright, in one pouch I carry, this is the waterproof container that I keep my charred wood in, and then as I'm out, this is what I make the charred wood in. You can use an Altoid box. That's what charred wood looks like whenever it's done. So what we're going to do is I'm going to dump all this into this charred wood into my tinder bundle. I'm going to throw a spark to it and show everybody how much easier it is to do charred wood than it is a bow drill. Once you do a bow drill fire one time, if you have if you have any punk wood, once you do a bow drill period, you shouldn't have to do a bow drill again unless your fire goes out. You should be able to make charred wood. If you don't have a tin like this, like an Altoids tin or something, what you'll do is you'll dig a hole, a very light, shallow hole. You'll put your wood in there and build the fire on top of it, and it works the same way. It heats the wood up, superheats it, but doesn't allow oxygen to get to it, so it doesn't burn. And that's what charred. Hey baby, do you want in the film?
Yeah.
Here, sit down. Sit down. We'll film you too. So this is what it'll look like, and I can throw a spark to this, and it'll turn into an ember, to a coal. You can do the same thing with cloth, anything like that. So if you had no materials with you and you did a bow drill fire, once you did a bow drill fire, you could still make charred wood by digging a shallow hole, putting it in the woods. That's a bear. That's a big animal. Butch is right behind you. That wasn't Butch. We'll be right back. Alright guys, this is basically the knot in the wood that I was showing you guys that was on the pine. What I did is I batoned this and split it, and you can see the fat wood. You can see where the resin is in this, and it smells just like turpentine. It smells very strong. I'm going to cut this thing a few times, and we're going to use it in the fire. I'm going to show you guys how much better this burns than normal wood, so that you know what resource to look for. Anytime there's a knot like this on any pine top tree, that's what it is. It's all fat wood.
Smells strong.
You recording stuff? Yeah, it smells like nothing but turpentine.
Mommy.
What you're gonna do before you start your fire, I learned this from MCQ Bushcraft. A lot of good videos on his channel. Before you start your fire, take 2 sticks and cross them in an X, and it's gonna allow you to get oxygen better. I'll show you how. Are you helping me? Alright, you'll start with the small pile like this. Once we get this blue into flame, we'll set it down here. You put your small stuff on, then you'll work your way up to bigger stuff. And if your fire's not getting enough oxygen, everything will be on this. All you do is take these two and you lift them up, and it allows more oxygen to get to it. So we're going to do that technique today, rather than the one that I usually do. I'm going to test it out and see if I like it. Which I have no problem with the one I do. I normally just make sure I've got enough oxygen. I've never really had to worry about it. Alright, so I showed this a while ago. To make charred wood, what I'll do is I'll take pieces of wood that I just find on the trail, little punk wood.
What? Mommy.
Come here, baby. Come help me start a fire. What I'll do is I'll take pieces of wood like this that I find along the trail. I'll put it in the tin, and I'll close the tin. I don't close it very tight, just enough that oxygen's not getting to it. And then I'll set it in the coals of the fire. And this stuff will heat up really well. And once it heats up really well, once the fumes start coming off of it, you'll see the fumes coming out, and sometimes those fumes will even catch fire. Once that stops, you just pull it out, you let it get down to room temperature, and then once you open it, it'll look like the rest of this right here. It'll look like just black charred wood, and that's what we're about to use inside this tinder bundle. And I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do that. What I'll do is I'll strike one from this, throw sparks into this, and when one gets lit, I'll just pull it out and put it in with the rest of these, and it'll light that one. So I'll take my ferro rod out of here. And if you can do a fire like this, then you should be able to start a fire with something like a match, no problem. Got one, I think.
Yeah, I see it.
Going. Yeah.
Stop, Mama,
Yep. Go on, dog. But I'll just take one that I've got, put it in there to help start the rest of them. Make sure it's tucked down in here pretty good. It's a very small tinder bundle here. I may put it down and blow on it.
Whoa. Whoa.
There you have it. Once it starts, it really gets going. That's when you'll put your smaller stuff on it. The hotter your fire is, the less smoke. So right now, this fire isn't very hot, but as it gets hotter, you'll notice there's a lot less smoke. And then as it starts to rise up like that and it gets over the other, you start putting on bigger stuff.
You film, Daddy? Daddy, it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. And you can smell nothing but turpentine as that other stuff starts heating up.
Oh, really?
Now I'm going to let this burn. I'm not trying to make a big fire, especially not this close to my shelter. I'm just going to make something big enough to cook on. But it's as simple as that to using charred wood. That's why anytime I do a fire, I'll make more charred wood. And I'll show you guys how to do that in a moment. But I'll take wood like this. No, baby, step back.
It's hot.
I'll just take wood. Any type of funky wood that I find. And I'll put it in here.
It's burning. Daddy, it's burning.
All you gotta do is put it in your tin. You'll close it up. You'll set it in your fire. And just keep your fire going.
Okay.
And after a while,
Where's the other
you'll be able to pull that off. After, it doesn't take 10 minutes even. You'll be able to pull that off.
one?
And once you pull it off, you'll have charred wood. We're just doing a quick scout. Figured I'd bring my family out here. Let them play in the woods. My daughter's not very good at film.
She don't know.
She's good at getting on the camera. I would just collect these and break them off, and I'd throw a bunch of them on the fire at night so that in the morning I would have good coals for me to make breakfast on. And I still do that anytime I go out into the woods. I'll collect any branches that have fallen that have this, or if they're still in the tree and they're dying, I'll collect them so that right before bed I'll throw all these on, and in the morning I'll still have a coal. They last a long time. Now I'll show you guys. Let's get this tin out of here.
Stop it. Okay.
Oh no, it's still burning. See that
Stop.
burning? Can you see that burning? Off of that? That means it's still releasing the fumes, so it's not ready to come out yet. Alright guys, so normally the wind comes from this side of the mountain that I'm on, and today it's coming from this side, so me sitting right here, it's just throwing smoke up into me. So, but anyway, I'm going to show you guys now. We're making some dinner here. We're going to make some rice or something. And over here, I've got the tin. I'm going to pull it off the fire now.
Mommy.
It's very important as you pull this off the fire not to let oxygen get to it. If you open this up, whenever you pull it off, it's still hot enough that it will light up and it'll ruin all of your charred wood. It has to get back to room temperature before you ever open it. Charred wood will take a flint and steel spark, which is roughly 800 degrees. So it's very easy to get it to take a ferrocerium rod, which is 3,000 degrees. So a ferrocerium rod where you throw a spark to it, that's 3,000 degrees. So it'll very easily take a spark from that. So whenever you first pull it off, if you open it up, you'll ruin your charred wood. Same thing goes for charred cloth. Anytime you're making any type of charred material, it'll ruin it if you open it up as soon as you take it off the fire. You have to let it cool down to room temperature first. When it cools down, I'll show you guys what we made. Oh yeah, that's boiling. These are called rice sods. Like $1 at the dollar store. All they require is water, and they're delicious. I've got enough water here. I'm gonna make 2 because we're all out here today. Doesn't take long to cook them either. So once you put your fire out, don't just put your fire out and then leave immediately. If you're doing a quick scout like this, especially like with your family or something and everybody's all running around, put your fire out, put the water on it, make sure that you can touch it with your hands. Once you can and you're confident that everything is put out, spread all of it out. Make it look like you didn't have a fire there. I've still got a little bit to go here, but we're about to eat. And this smells delicious, by the way, this broccoli and cheese, or cheddar broccoli. Once you spread everything out, cover it up. Make it look like you didn't have a fire there. All right, here is the charred wood that we had made. And then once it's cool to your touch and you can open it, this is what we made, and you can see some of the resins on the top still. No big deal. But this is perfectly good charred wood, and this is enough to start my next fire. She's done 8 and now she's sleeping. She's ready for a nap.
Little man's over there chasing lizards.
So is the dog, I think.
Yeah. Daddy. Oh, so no.
I didn't understand a word you just said, baby girl. If somebody can understand what was just said, post it in the comments.
Come on. Here's your one. Are you leaving, Daddy?
Yeah, you know.
I want to catch this lizard. Daddy, I want to catch this poor lizard home before it gets spicy. That's why I'm trying to catch it.
You're starting to sound like a liberal, man. We're good to go. Alright guys, we're coming to an end here at this family scout. I brought them all out into the woods and just to spend a few hours out in the woods, let them play, show you guys a few things about fire lighting. Children are not the best camp companions if you're trying to do anything as far as being quiet or being stealthy, anything like that. But it's good to teach them while they're young to appreciate the outdoors, know when to be quiet, that sort of thing, so you can listen, watch the wildlife, all that good stuff. And while they're young is the best time to teach them what plants they can stay away from, which ones they can touch, that sort of thing. And teach them skills. Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, I think you have to be like 7 to be able to join. And I think that's a pretty good age. My daughter's a little young to be out here. It annoys her because we constantly tell her not to be touching something she shouldn't be touching. My son absolutely loves it. And he's getting about the right age, and he's been out watching me for a while now. You know, I've brought him with me since he was about 5. So, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna go collect some acorns. We're gonna make some flour out of acorns, and we saw some at the beginning of our trail. Look at that. Watch them coming through the woods like a bunch of ducks. But anyway, we're gonna make some acorn flour, and we'll probably do a video on that, how to eat acorns. And all right, guys. Well, we'll be back to you as soon as we can with another video. This is Mouse from United Front Tactical. Out.